Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Kaartik Gor joins me as we look at the Kundli of Annamalai, one of the much awaited shows. Over to you, sir. Welcome to P Guru's channel. How are you?
Thank you so much. Namah Shivaya and Namah Shivaya to everybody.
Kartik ji, back home when I used to grow up in Hyderabad, my professors used to, make fun of students who are not bringing their minds to the program, to the class. They'll say, "Palme tola, palme masha," meaning some days the guy is on top of his game as a student, and some days kahin aur hai dhyan. So similarly, all politicians' lives go through these ebbs and flows. And one saw that Annamalai had a very meteoric rise, and then there was a correction in 2024 because of the debacle and so on and so forth. Plus the fact that BJP did not get enough seats at the center. So there has been introspection now. He's no longer the president of the Tamil Nadu BJP party, but you can never take Annamalai out of the political equations in Tamil Nadu. That's what it's playing out to be now. So tell us what is in store for the people of Tamil Nadu. What is in store for Annamalai? Over to you.
Yeah, so we have been talking about doing Annamalai Ji's chart for a long while, and finally today we got the chance. So, see, one thing is very clear looking at his chart that the guy is a very very shrewd guy. Okay, Virgo Lagna people, he shares the Lagna with Narendra Bhai, Amit Shah. So Amit Shah is also a Virgo Lagna person, and the difference between him is both his Lagnesh, both Rahu and Mercury are in the ninth house. Okay, now that is like a catch 22 situation where Lagnesh, wherever Lagnesh goes, we say Lagnesh is like Surya. Okay, in Brihad Parashara Hora Shastra, Maharishi Parashara says Lagnesh is like Surya. Wherever he goes, he is going to, in a way, burn that house. Okay, but at the same time, ninth house is the house of luck. When we take it upwards, then it becomes father. We take it at a professional level, it becomes your boss. So when Lagnesh comes to the ninth house, his luck and his bad luck, in a way, has got a lot to do with his equation with his boss, or with the hierarchies or people who are at the helm of affair at that point of time. So at this point of time, we can say that when Lagnesh is in the ninth house, his political graph has got a lot to do with what Amit Bhai and Narendra Bhai thinks at this point of time, and what is good for them, or shall we say the wider picture, so to say. Because I know that when I was in Mahakumbh, a lot of people were a little bit disturbed in terms of, why has he been called back, and there were rumors at that point of time he might be made the president of BJP. There were a lot of rumors going on, and I just told them one thing, that listen, his Lagnesh is in the ninth house. He has to be in good terms with his bosses for his rise to happen. That is the first part of it. The second part of it is that, see, he has got an unstable Aruda. What I mean to say by unstable Aruda, see, Aruda is something which is the perception about the world, or how the world looks at you, right? You might be very competent, but there are certain people who, for some reason, the world just doesn't recognize them. There are certain people who are mediocre, or people who are not that good or not that trustworthy, but for some reason, whenever Chandra has got something to do with Aruda Lagna, the people suddenly become very acceptable. So that shift of Aruda, which is currently in his fifth house, has to come to the 11th house where his Chandra is, and that will happen ultimately by 2029. So what we are looking at is three-step prediction is what I want to talk about, or analysis what I want to talk about. His political rise, so to say, has happened, actually speaking, from June 2025. Okay, before that we were talking about setback, and why has it happened from now is because his Surya Dasha has started. And even a person with very very basic knowledge of Jyotish would know that Surya has got a lot to do with politics. I always say that there are three parts of politics in today's time, because what we are doing in today's time is more like Rahu rather than Surya. Let us be very frank about it, right? So I say that Surya, Rahu, and Mercury are very very important for today's type of politics, and that is the nexus that we are talking about, where you need Surya administration skills, you need Mercury, the money power, No politician who is going to say that I'm not interested in money. Don't. I don't want to handle the money, or I don't want to handle the donation part of it. I'm sorry to say, you cannot you cannot grow as a leader, because havan ke liye ghee lagta hai, right? And then I am a very practical person, and I always say that to many other people. I consult few of them, and I tell them that, guys, you cannot be that idealistic and say, okay, boss, I don't want to handle this part of it, that part, let Delhi handle it. No, it does not work. If you have a political ambition, you want to go ahead, you need to know at least how to manage it, how it works. All those things have to be known. And the last but not the least is Rahu, deep state, or shall we say, the dirty work that every politician has to do if he wants to survive. Now, looking at all those three scenarios, I would say that actually speaking, his Surya Dasha has just started, which is June 2025. We are in just the first day of October, so to say. Right. So I would say that him coming to Delhi, and Surya is actually Delhi, but his horoscope is saying that he's more inclined to go from state to the center. But for some reason, because of whatever political complications, and probably having to succumb to AIA, DMK, and all the internal politics, which probably you know more than me, I would say that it is a little bit of a setback, but he is going to groom himself from now till, I would say, May 2029. So now June 2025 to May 2029 is the time when he is going to learn a lot of administrative skills, and he's going to get some role in the center, and he will do that. And then from May 2029 to roughly May 2031 is again the time when he can again be pushed to center, sorry, the state. And from then onwards, I would say May 2031 onwards is the time when he has got a realistic chance of really being projected as a state chief minister. And from then on, probably he can really look at a realistic chance of being projected and winning the state elections.
Thank you so much. And I just wanted to share something slightly unrelated, but at the same time, it is important to understand this. Let me just share the screen. I wanted to share a screen with you viewers. Just take a quick look at this. I have been periodically in my programs, have been sharing the screen. Just give me 1 second. See this? This is the ongoing total of how many people have been deported from the United States since the Trump administration took office. This is the set of people who have been caught staying illegally and having been deported. There are close to 2 million who have self-reported. They have announced by way of CBP app. There's an app, Customs and Border Protection has an app that you are supposed to download on your phone and say that I am now legally leaving United States, although I came in illegally, because that improves their chances of coming back in a legal way in the future. These 254,000, they're not going to be able to ever get back. And this is what you don't want to fall into, especially those who have entered in from India illegally. I just wanted to say this to say that there is nothing that prevents Indian government from having a website like this and saying, I mean, this website even state-wise where the infiltration is. And there's nothing to stop Indian government from showing something like this and saying that, look, we are supporting, because just making it a whole issue for elections, and then sometimes it gathers traction, sometimes it does not. I just want India to think about a more, hum mein bhi dum hai. We want to show you what we have done. This is an important thing that India should consider. I know it's off topic, but the reason I'm hinting at is, if a role like this is given to Annamalai, internal, Minister of State for Home, responsible for, illegal immigration or curbing illegal immigration, right? He would do a fantastic job. Fantastic job.
Absolutely, and
yeah. Go ahead.
And he has got the stars to actually get it done.
Yes.
You understand? The guy is extremely disciplined. See, Mangal and Shani are in the second house of each. right? When Mangal is in the second house, these are the people who talk with a lot of logic. And Mangal also likes to talk very impassionately. So he might get into trouble, but the fact of the matter is he talks a lot of sense, talks a lot of logic, and even somebody as me, who is a Gujarati, generally not very very in tune with what's happening exactly in the South Indian states. The first time I heard him, I thought that, hey, this guy is very logical and rational, and he doesn't mince his words, and he talks very straight. So, and that is why I was very inclined to use this as his lagna, because there are two lagnas which are floating around, and me and few other people whom I respect also, we have sort of agreed that this looks like a more possible lagna, because neither of us know him personally. So, and neither of us are consulting him directly. So, coming to what Trump is doing, see, Shriji, if we were just talking offline as well, that right from day one, I've been, very, very few who have not been trolling Trump in terms of, making him sound like a fool, and this guy is complete fool. I've been saying that, yes, there is a element of, he's a little Ketu-like person, he is little whimsical, but then there is a lot of method to the madness. He's definitely not a fool. And if you remember, I had said this, on the day of swearing in of Donald Trump, and I was in Varanasi, uh, during Mahakumbh, and people from RSS and all, they saw me and they asked me, Kartik ji, what if Donald Trump was India's prime minister and he was swearing in, and what would be the first decision he would take? And I told them that, guys, do you want to hear the truth as it is, or you want me to say a very flowery way? So he says, no, 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 in your style. And I told them, if Trump was Narendra Modi, he would do the swearing in, and he would bring an ordinance to build the Ram temple, and he would tell the judiciary point blank that, guys, you have been taking leave on every Ram Navami. You guys are not going to tell us or tell me whether Ram exists or no. Well, that is Donald Trump for you, unapologetic, straight. You like him or you don't like him. He will not try to think that what the world will think about me, what about my image, what would people think. And to a large extent, the time has come, Shriji. I've been talking about this very very openly, that Bharat actually needs a beast king. Just few minutes back, I was looking at Uttar Pradesh now having 25% less crime rate compared to the previous year, or some statistic like that. So why is that happening? That is happening because people are terrified. People who are criminals either are leaving the state, like in the previous poll that you showed, voluntarily either are leaving or they are leaving. Either ways they are leaving. और या तो एकदम ऊपर की फ्लाइट पकड़ रहे हैं, या तो फिर दे आर लिविंग द स्टेट के, यार ये बाबा जी हमको रहने नहीं देगा. So India needs that, and I have said this 1,000 times, that there is no decision more important than internal security. India can become a $10 trillion economy, but on street we will still look like a third grade country until and unless we definitely sort out that internal security issue. We can keep calling half front, half front, half front without naming. Let me give you a simple and very, very people might not like. We tell United Nations, Shriji, to give the define terrorism, whereas we ourselves inside our country cannot define our half front. What sort of a country are we? So these are hard facts, and we need somebody who is a nonsense, be it Yogi, be it Annamalai, somebody who is not interested in how the history book is going to write them in future. Not interested in the medals, not interested in absolutely anything except for only one thing, that, hey, listen, India is in a deep problem. And then people who are just looking at the rosy part of it, no, India is in a deep deep problem, and we have to accept it. Once you accept it, only then the solutions will come, and the solution is to Be unapologetic. And Annamalai is absolutely brilliant candidate. More importantly, the moment his Chandra Dasha is, or that Aruda shift is going to happen from the fifth house to the 11th house, which means that there is a change of boss, which will happen around this May 2031 period. And that is going to change the dynamics. And then probably he will
Thank you
get a.
so much. A lot of hints there. A lot of hints there. Go ahead. Please finish your thought. I thought you're done. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is a hint, and probably that is so. See, because his Lagnesh is in the ninth house, he likes to work very independently. Okay, as much as he sort of gives a lot of respect to everybody and who are his superiors, but technically is somebody who would not like micromanagement. That give me the task and then now let me do the task how I am supposed to do. And then if everybody is going to be micromanaged and everything again is going to be centered around Delhi, he's not a guy who would like that to happen, frankly speaking. So 2031, what I'm talking about is this the time when probably some change of his boss is happening, and that is going to change the dynamics and who is going to give him a free run. And then we are going to actually see the real Annamalai, which is pure Mangal and Shani, which is Yama Yoga in the second house, who is not going to say ek hai to safe hai, who is openly going to say batoge to katoge.
Thank you so much. And I can't emphasize enough about this challenge about illegal immigration into India. Look around India, Pakistan, going to the basket, going to dogs. Bangladesh, 20% drop in their economy and no scope for exports because all the land-based places where you used to ship is cut off. They are living on borrowed time because Adani power has been now very patient. I'm hearing that only a small fraction has been paid, and that too not from Bangladesh's own tax base, but from a loan that IMF gave. So IMF said that you need to pay this, otherwise these people are going to cut power off for you. So there's still a lot of money to be paid. I have a separate monologue on this, viewers. Take a look at it. The reason I'm saying all this, Goom Firke, why I'm saying this is India can become 10 trillion unless it has a very orderly ingress outgress from all its neighbors. That prosperity will not be seen by the hardworking people who would have taken India 10 trillion. The people, the real logical, these are the real citizens of United India, Bharat. Because there'll be always sponging going on from the sides. You need to really get this thing from that point of view. That's what I'm trying to tell viewers. Thank you so much, sir. We have a couple of questions now, and then we can wrap up this program. The first question is from Binny. He wants to know what is the future of Pappu.
Future of Pappu is not in the Bharat as it exists now. To be very frank, and if I might be very, very open about it, he also understands that in the current Bharat, he doesn't have a future. That's why they are trying to create a new Bharat. If you see what's happening in Ladakh, you see what's happening in our border region, etc. This is all a fault line which Congress is also trying to explore. Let us be very open. And how did those fault lines come up? Because we did not act on time. And probably we did not act the way ruthlessly we should act. These are the hard facts. But I've been very, very open that the Bharat as it exists now, Pappu will never become the Prime Minister.
Thank you so much. And next one, that was the last line, was the kicker there. Kandan wants to know, are you related to Sergey Gor?
I don't know, but probably if the Delhi had listened to this Gor, Sergey Gor would have been easier to manage.
Next question, and this is more of a satirical thing. Sunil wants to know, more than astrology, is he pushing his beliefs and what he thinks is right? Sunil ji, you need to understand what Kaartik ji talks about is Jyotishi, not astrology. And if you know the difference, you would not have asked this question, but I'll give you a chance to Kaartik ji to answer to this one.
No, yeah. So Jyotish, see, if you have been following me for a long time, see, I get these questions a lot of time. The problem is people are so used to watching these 30-second reels in Instagram, right? Where they want to see somebody with a low-cut blouse giving moon remedies. They don't understand that, when somebody who is come with such a body of knowledge. When they are talking based on India's chart only. They are talking based on Narendra Modi's chart only. They are talking based on Amit Shah's chart only. They are also talking based on what Modi 3.0 government is all about, the swearing in chart, the Trump swearing in chart. The thing is, every time I cannot talk about it because then it becomes very technical. So I'm giving you the nectar part of it, and if you can understand it, you can understand it. People who understand it, they want to learn more, and then they want to join Chanakya Geo Jyotisha and probably brush up their knowledge. So people, there will always be a certain section who just doesn't understand. There are certain section who just doesn't want to learn and listen to anything against Narendra Modi. And I say openly, by boss, for me, my country is superior, and dene wala Mahadev hai, right? So giver is Lord Shiva. It is not BJP or for that matter Narendra Modi, or even tomorrow if even Yogi comes, I'll be more probably brutal on Yogi also. Provided he's doing everything good for India, why would I be brutal? If he's doing everything good in Uttar Pradesh, I'll say he's doing good in Uttar Pradesh. He's unapologetic and he's doing things which are supposed to be done. He is an absolute beast king, which India requires. And that is again based on his chart. So if you have been following me, but every time if I say, okay, it is in this nakshatra and there's this, then the same people will feel, yeah, this is too technical, or he's trying to impress that he knows too much. So at a podcast level, I have to keep at a level where people like most of the people can understand, and people who are following me for a long while, they know what I'm talking about, and that is my audience, not those 30-second Instagram reel audience.
So this is a good comment here. SAN says that was funny, low cut blouse. I think he is talking about the reality. We are now starting to publish on TikTok also. And you might say, why the hell are you doing it? Because we can't see it in India. Wait, this is not for India. It's for many other countries where TikTok is available. And what is hinted here is what you're seeing in TikTok. Sometimes it's much worse. I mean, so now that I am on TikTok and I'm seeing how my videos are doing, they feed content to you, and the content I'm saying is I'm very uncomfortable looking at that. But what to do? I have to take a look at it because I want to see. I want to see at least there's one political commentary in TikTok talking about the state of political affairs in the world. Hardly anything comes. So I see that, okay, geopolitics, politics, all these things do have a place in TikTok. Let me see how I can carve a niche for myself. So small request to all of you. Those of you who are on TikTok, look for P Gurus, just P Gurus, and please follow us. Will be very grateful because the word has to spread. TikTok content doesn't happen to be what is on YouTube. We are trying to do different things. You'll start seeing a lot of other changes also. Kartik ji, I would also request you can get on TikTok because you are in Dubai. Do that because good content is a must, not low-cut blouse, and certainly that's not the way to go, viewers. Okay. Sure. And also you should also look at what kind of a messaging Rajinikanth brings. You go to any public function of his, he doesn't wear a wig. He says, this is who I am. And there was a fantastic self-roast he did. Remember that? That there's a Rajasthani businessman who talks to Rajinikanth and he talks about, what are you working on? This is when he made this movie called Robo 10 years ago. And so funny. Man is able to look at himself and poke fun at himself because he knows his fan base understands the difference between who he is in real life and who he is in real life.
True.
And like that, Kartik ji and I, we are not going to change. We are only going to have less hair going forward. It's not what is outside, it's what's inside that you should be looking at. Thank you so much.
Like Rajni sir is unapologetic. He doesn't need to hide his age. So it's more power to him.
Yes, I'm just lining up a few questions. Let me start with this one. Take a look at this one, sir. Vaibhav wants to know, will de-dollarization and outsourcing from USA be successful or will it fail?
So it is not a one word answer, So the thing is, we have to give it to Trump for trying. Okay, he's doing what actually should have been long back, right? If you take a very, very neutral perspective, Trump is doing what every leader will do, right? Like we say, make in India. He's trying to project things to get it done. Like for example, Uttar Pradesh government gives a lot of sops and gives a lot of discounts or a tax-free thing if the movie or a certain amount part of the movie is shot in Uttar Pradesh, he has brought something related to films, which are shot over there and etc. made in America. So a lot of things he is doing. We as Indians, so we have got into that 1.5 GB gang thing, that now whatever Trump does, we have to just go and troll him. And the same people in 2 months time after he will stand with Modi ji with his hand in hand, and so the same people will then become suddenly fans of Trump. A guy like me, rational people like me and Shriji, we don't change on a daily basis, that on Monday it is this way, on even days it will be this way. We are very stable. So Trump is doing a lot of things right. People might make fun of him, but he only has the guts to make a Netanyahu sit, apologize to the Qataris, a lot of things. Abraham Accords, nobody, people who understand a little bit about how complex the Middle East region is, would understand that purely based on Abraham Accords, Donald Trump should have got a Nobel Prize. You
Very
understand?
true.
But then, again, if you say that, that 1.5 GB, they will not like, because they are only seeing a certain part of Trump. They're not understanding that, lot of thing he does it as a very smart camouflage. He likes to do that. So outsourcing from USAC, one thing is sure that uh, they will try, but who is going to give the Indians the price at which we come, the peaceful approach with we come, he will find it very tough. So definitely there will be a backlash. As far as that outsourcing part I'm concerned, I think he will have to take back a little bit of that, and I think somewhere down the line he will take back. It is just a posturing. A lot of thing he is doing is just a posturing to actually bring India on table on his own terms. Understand his mindset, the way he works. A lot of it, I've said that, come second year of his presidency, when that Jupiter will start, he will mellow down a lot. So in about 4 months of time, this Trump will be completely different. But that doesn't mean that, what he is doing now is he is doing without thinking. He is thinking every action that he is doing. And a lot of it is optics, a lot of it is pressure. And if you understand that, you will understand that he's just trying to push Narendra Bhai to the corner, so things can be done his own way.
And Deepa wants to know, Kartik ji, what about the point which was on the show? Is NDA seeing an opening in Tamil Nadu? I should have asked this question.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
yeah. So 2031 to 34 is the time when they have got a realistic chance. With Annamalai at the helm of affair. So after May 2029, I think BJP has to take that stand where, after whatever the discussions they have with EIA DMK for this particular election, the next election, I think they have to work on that.
Thank you, sir. Next question from Vijay Kumar Srivastav ji. 1 second. Do you believe in astrology? Stars do play a role?
That's a very tricky thing. You're asking about astrology or Jyotish? I believe in
Yes,
Jyotish.
I was going to say that.
Astrology doesn't work, because astrology says that any person who is born between a certain time to a certain time, those 100 million people will have the same destiny. Jyotish says that even twins who are born at a certain period, based on the little subtle difference of the timing of the umbilical cord which has been cut, even two siblings can have a completely different destiny, because their Shashtri will change. So whether I believe in astrology, I would say no. It's just a time pass. Do I believe in Jyotish? I would say 200%. Whether Jyotish works 100%, I would say ideally Jyotish as an art works 100%. But is there a Jyotishi who knows 100%? The answer is no, because a lot of our knowledge has been lost. So any Jyotishi who is saying that he is a reincarnation of Parashar or Jaimini is only fooling you. And if you are getting fooled, it's your problem, not his. A guy like me is saying openly that no Jyotishi can be 100% correct, because even Don Bradman didn't have an average of 100. So if somebody is going to troll me, oh Kartik ji, you got that wrong, absolutely I got it wrong. So what's the big deal? People who play Test cricket will not have a white shirt and white pant because they play on the field. It's only people like 1.5 GB gang who are on the side, and on every day morning they wake up and they put their hands like, आज यार किसकी बजानी है. They feel happy कि अरे यार मैंने इसको गाली दे दी, विराट कोहली को मैंने चोकली बोल दिया, ओ अक्षय कुमार को मैंने कैनेडियन कुमार बोल दिया. पर उनको क्या फर्क पड़ा? कुछ नहीं. They still have thousands of people lining outside their home to sign them. What about you? So hard fact, but you guys also have to take a call that when you troll somebody, you have to just think that what level is the other person? Does it make an impact, or are you just doing because you want to release your Rahu? But frankly speaking, you are doing a remedy for the other person by taking his Rahu and actually activating your Rahu in your horoscope. I gave a good remedy for people who want to understand it.
Last question from Vaibhav. Will Trump win or lose in his tariff move?
See, that is again not a single answer. If you see net, he is not doing bad, right? There are many countries like Japan, lot of other people. He is actually getting it done. If you see the way he is managing Pakistan, right? So net, as I said that he's doing it nicely via the Saudi connection. You see how he's managing now and calming down the Qataris by telling Netanyahu that in front of me you will apologize to him. So a lot of things he's doing with Japan, with a lot of other, with NATO, how he is managing with the Ukraine war. So it's like a win-win for America. If the war goes on, fair enough. He is very clear that I'm not going to give you anything for free. Sign up. This rare earth is mine. You guys are NATO. You are going to buy arms from me. I'm not going to give it for free. Increase your budget of defense. So that you can buy more thing from me. Parallelly, he is trying to work out things with Putin. So if it works out, he will take a Nobel Prize, or at least he will claim that he has stopped one more war. If it doesn't work out, he still sells his arms. So how is he a fool? Is my bigger question.
Yes, indeed. A lot of stuff talked about today. Thank you so much, Kartik ji. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time and with some new information and new development. Thank you so much, Kartik ji. And you want to talk a little bit about your new initiative because you're going to be starting it soon.
Yeah, so Chanakya Geo Jyotisha, we are starting on 21st of October, and the first lesson which I am going to talk about is basically the concept of Marana Karakasthana. If you guys remember, I had predicted way back in December 2024 that once Jupiter is going to come to Gemini, we are going to see a lot of chaos in Europe related to religion and all those things, which we are seeing how it is happening. So, more in that and how to actually, what is my rationale to saying that when Jupiter enters Gemini and it is going to end when Jupiter is going to reach Sagittarius. So what is that logic? It's a little technical thing, so I don't talk on the podcast, but it is a nice topic to start off with in Chanakya Geo Jyotisha. So if you guys are interested, go to my website, kartikgor.com. It is out there, and you will see over there a lot of details will be there.
Thank you so much, Kartik ji. Last comment from Vignesh. Vignesh, thank you so much. Sri Avare, the feedback I'm getting from my lone limited circle of Tamil Nadu people, 2026 may throw a surprise. I don't want to mention further as my source is very limited. Thank you so much. Aapke muh mein ghee shakkar. Thank you so much once again, Kartik ji. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Namaskar.
Thank you. Namah Shivaya. Namaskar.